Survivor Series is just around the corner. As a matter of fact, it's this upcoming weekend where the superstars of Monday Night Raw will face off against the superstars of SmackDown. That includes each of the brand's champions. Will have inter-promotional, inter-brand matches between the champions, as well as some Survivor Series, traditional Survivor Series elimination tag team matches at the pay-per-view. But what I am most worried about is the fact that WWE does not care about this brand war, about the infighting between their superstars. That's exactly what they've been doing for the past few weeks, and just last night on Raw, they appeared to ramp up the build to Survivor Series just by having Raw superstars go up against SmackDown superstars who invaded the red brand. But here's the thing. Just a month ago, WWE had their annual draft where each brand was able to pick from a pool of WWE superstars and bring that superstar, whichever they chose, to their brand. So if we look at Team Raw, we've got Seth Rollins, we've got Kevin Owens, we've got Rey Mysterio, we've got Finn Balor, and we had Dominic Mysterio, all of which were a part of Team SmackDown, or the SmackDown brand, just about 2 months ago. Now, since Dominic Mysterio has been replaced by Bobby Lashley, a man who has dominated the WWE for the past year and a half, the Almighty, on Monday Night Raw, that is his show, and I was pretty happy to have him stay on Monday Night Raw. But you know, we just go back to last week on Raw, where we had Seth Rollins pretty much call SmackDown superstars and call everybody in that brand bums, when just a month ago he was still a part of that show. So again, this is not the talent's fault. You can't fault them for having to go out there and say those kinds of things. It's WWE's fault. Because at Crown Jewel last month, they announced this pay-per-view. That this pay-per-view is going to be about Raw versus SmackDown, red versus blue. And what did we see the night after Crown Jewel? We didn't see any Survivor Series qualification matches. No, we didn't see Raw superstars start being threatened by the blue brand anytime soon. No, what we saw was Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, WWE officials, line up challengers for current WWE champion Big E. We saw a fantastic Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the number one contendership that Seth Rollins won. We saw that. But no build at all for Survivor Series. And if there's no build, there's no excitement for the pay-per-view, even though WWE wants to act like it is. As a matter of fact, the only form of rivalry between Raw and SmackDown over the past year, since last year's Survivor Series, is the tribal chief himself, the head of the table, the Universal Champion, the quote-unquote self-proclaimed king of SmackDown, Roman Reigns, putting down the red brand, putting down Monday Night Raw as the B show. He's done that countless times since he became Universal Champion, since he returned last year. He has kept that thing going, but that's obviously not enough. And then on Monday Night Raw this past week, he had his cousins, the Usos, send a message to current WWE Champion Big E en route to their World Title Championship Champions versus Champions match at Survivor Series, which again, it does not matter. Survivor Series does not matter. There are no stakes. WWE has done nothing over the past few weeks, over the past few months, over the past few years. Hell, since 2010, there isn't any rivalry between Raw and SmackDown. Yes, back then the rosters were separated, much like they are now. Yes, in 2016, they separated those same rosters and tried to recreate what the Ruthless Aggression Era did in 2002. But like I've said in the past, WWE refuses to commit to having brands be separate. They always find a loophole. They always break their own rules, which again, it's their show. They treat it the way they want it to be treated. So that's entirely up to them. But then, don't ask me, as a wrestling fan, and many others out there, to care about Raw versus SmackDown when there is no real stakes, when there is no real fight between brands. There is nothing to entice fans to give a damn about red versus blue. That's WWE's fault. That's their lack of build. That's their lack of hindsight. That's their lack of structure in terms of creative. Because they did this, I believe, in 2018 and 2019. They've been doing this for years and years and years, and they can't plan ahead. They refuse, as a matter of fact, they refuse to plan ahead and give this pay-per-view, a Big Four pay-per-view, one of the most traditional events in WWE history, the importance it deserves. And so, Survivor Series, at least for me, it's going to bring us some great action. Champions versus champions all around the board. Some traditional Survivor Series elimination matches, which will be a joy to watch. But again, it doesn't matter. There's no real story behind it other than the contrived part that they've been trying to produce over the past week and a half on WWE programming. And because of that, WWE's programming right now suffers. So with that said, let's get past Friday Night SmackDown, which there's going to be more build. Let's get past Sunday's Survivor Series, again with great action and some shocking results nonetheless. And then let's head into the new year, hopefully WWE knowing what's to come ahead, with WrestleMania season just like 2-3 months away. So let's hope WWE can get this back on